Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. And we're always happy to have you on with us. And we took a little break yesterday. And let's see who will come up on the hit parade this morning as we do our little roll call. I was going to say Brahim, but Michael came first, Brahim number 2, and Andrea, you guys are unbelievable. Sandy, right at the top from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, Madeleine, Kippawa, Quebec, Beverly from New Brunswick, good morning. Nativity, how are ya? And Nick from our staff, bright and early, Fran, Orangeville, good morning. Kevin, Oshawa, and Wendy from Markham, and Gertie from Burlington. Dave, good morning to ya. And Marilyn from Kelowna, bright and early for sure. Jeanette from our staff. Jeanette, how are you? And Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Gary from Bolton. Chantal from Ottawa. And Yolande, how are you? Janet from Nova Scotia. Sharon from Kansas. And Jeanette saying hi. Karen from Sault Ste. Marie. Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Marilyn, P.E.I. Denise, how are you? Oakville, Linda. St. Jude, Quebec. Donna, Newfoundland. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Anita, Wawa, Ontario. Luella, West Tennessee. And Linda is saying, Linda's listening. Dr. Bennett in Newfoundland, how are you, my friend? Maureen, Sandy, Vancouver, Washington. Sue, good morning. Cindy in Saskatchewan. Rosalinda, I know it's moving fast. Carol, Sue, Bolton, good morning. Mara, good morning to you. And Margie, Gloria, New York. And Barbara from Thetford. Beverly. And Patricia, Sudbury. And Anne, good morning. Lorraine, Oshawa. Kathy, Port Perry. Leslie, how are you? Nellie, good to have you on. And Deb from Timmins. So a couple of more. Let's get going. Dave, how are you? 2 Daves in a row. And Anne, nice to have you on. And Carol from Moncton, New Brunswick. Judy and Joanne from Eganville. Rita, guys, we appreciate you. Another Patricia, Cheryl from West Virginia. I hate to miss anyone. Micheline, and Jude said she's in the clouds. Well, Catherine, Sandy, Peterborough. Okay, if I missed you guys, I didn't mean to, because we sure love saying hello. Mary, how are you? P.E.I. Okay, so I got some headlines, health headlines, want to talk about today. And this is an interesting one. And guys, it really speaks to us this time of the year because, you know, we all know that, you know, in the winter time, this is when, you know, the flu season and whatever, it really has a lot to do with vitamin D and the fact that, you know, here we are, at least where I am today, the sun's out. Hallelujah. Like, I mean, it seems to me it was a year since I seen the sun. Well, not really, but yeah, okay. But here's a study on blood glucose and infections, okay? Blood glucose and infections. So high glucose levels helps infections get going. That's the headline. So again, guys, we talk about sugar, and we know in cancer, for example, and it frustrates me because medicine in general has no connection between food and cancer. They just don't see the connection. And I'm not saying food is everything, but it's a big thing. And it's been neglected. People don't study it. They don't talk about it. And if you got cancer, the diet has got very little to do with the treatment. It's slash and burn, chemotherapy, radiation, and they send you home with blood boost. Is the worst thing you can do. And they send you home with Ensure and these drinks that are full of sugar. Anyway, we've talked about that many times. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen this book, in print in a bit, okay? Because we were out of print. This is a book we wrote. What year was this? Oh yeah, I got to look at the year. I can't remember what year. 2014. So 11 years ago, we wrote a book called Are You Built for Cancer? Okay? And in that book, we talked a lot about sugar. We talked a lot about what you should eat and what you should avoid. But listen to this, okay? This is not cancer, but this is infections, okay? So high glucose feeds infections. Let me just unpack the article for a second. Here's what they're saying. Bacteria don't eat fats. Bacteria don't eat fats. Bacteria don't eat protein. Bacteria eats sugar. And what they're saying is, when your blood glucose is elevated, and the only way to elevate your blood glucose, guys, stress can do it too, like cortisol, and you're stressed, and that can elevate, and that's all right if you're in a fight or flight, but if you're constantly in that, then you're even more susceptible to infection. But what they're saying is bacteria need glucose. So people that are eating crap all the time are much more susceptible, guys, to infections. So this time of the year, what you want is to be taking your vitamin D and to get your immune system up and lay off the sugars, guys. Lay off the sugars. Now, we talk about that all the time for different reasons. They're legion. Because when we talk about chronic disease, we talk about food and metabolic syndrome and how your body burns energy. And again, we just rail against crappy carbohydrates that turn to sugar rapidly. Okay? And this study is saying high blood glucose is deadly for bacterial infections. Now, you're not going to hear that just about, it's unreal. And guys, I've said this to you before too. This is a study done. I got to go back because I got it in my notes somewhere. But, I've talked about this over the years several times. On my radio show, I talked about it. They show that, that if you have sugar, your white blood cells go to sleep. Your white blood cells are your Navy SEALs of your immune system. And they take a siesta after sugar. Sugar puts them to sleep. They've proven this. And not only that, but sugar feeds bacteria. Bacteria love that glucose. And that's why, guys, when you think about it, your blood sugar is so tightly regulated. So help it along by eating the right foods. Okay? Help it along by eating the right foods. It's just another reason to put a big X through sugar. You don't need it. You don't need it. Okay. And by the way, this article goes on to say, I'm just looking at the bottom of it. It says, and by the way, it says, type 2 diabetics are much more susceptible to infections. Is there anything good about diabetes? No. Right? And remember, what you learn here at the Martin Clinic, and the doctor is in. We talk about this all the time. Diabetes is the last thing to happen to your body, not the first. And therefore, by the time someone really is a diabetic, they've been a diabetic for a long, long time. They just didn't know it because they were just relying on their blood glucose to test it. And if it doesn't hit a certain number, you're not a diabetic. But, you know, research is really showing that you turn a diabetic a long, long time before your blood glucose actually shows a doctor, okay, now you're a diabetic. Nah, you've been a diabetic a long time. This whole thing about pre-diabetes, does it really exist? You really are a diabetic. I used to tell patients, because what I did in my office was much more accurate, I believe, and still is today in terms of testing, and that is testing urine for sugar. If you got sugar in your urine, man, you're a diabetic. You're a diabetic because your body is just trying to help. Like, let's get rid of this. Okay? So, anyway, they got rid of that urine test. That's what doctors relied on at one time. Much more than blood testing for diabetes. The old-fashioned doctor used to smell the urine. Hey, you're a diabetic. I can smell the sugar in it. You know, it's funny when you go back and read the old medical books, you know, like they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Okay, so high glucose feeds infections. Another reason to avoid sugar. Another reason for it. Okay? Canned soup. Listen to this. Okay? You got BPA lining in soups. Okay? They put plastic on the inside of cans to preserve, okay, the soup. Now listen to this. So they did it. They did this study. 1 serving daily of soup, either in a jar, fresh soup in a jar, or canned soup. Okay, so someone just taking canned soup on a daily basis, 5 days. Or the soup in a jar. Okay, then you know what they did? Then they tested their urine after 5 days. Listen to this. The BPA, the plastic found in the urine of those with canned soup, eating canned soup, was 1,000 times higher than those eating out of a glass soup, making it out of a glass jar. 1,000 times more plastic, BPA, in their urine. Holy smokes. Like I said, you're kidding me. Can't be that much higher. Yeah, apparently it is. I don't know if I'm ever going to have a canned soup. You know, when we were kids. Now, I don't know if they put the plastic in the cans when we were kids, because we used to have a lot of canned soup at our house. Campbell's tomato soup, and in Canada, I don't know if you have this in the United States or not, Habitant pea soup, okay? Because I remember eating that stuff a lot, okay? Isn't that crazy, guys? So, I don't know if I'm ever going to have another can of soup again. After reading this study, like, it's kind of shocking. It can't be 1,000 times, but that's what they said in the study. And the BPA was 1,000 times more in their urine. Holy smokes. Is there ever any good news in these things? Okay, let me just get to another one. Oh. Now, I gotta preface by what I'm gonna say by some of you people. Okay? I get a kick because a lot of people think I'm joking when it comes to coffee. Okay? They think because I like coffee, which I do, that I'm joking when I call it vitamin C. And look, there's a lot of new people on. Every program, we get lots of new people. Okay, so I get that. I got to explain, go over and over again. But guys, I'm telling you, it's been almost 50 years. And I, look at this face, Dr. Martin, have been the biggest supporter of coffee around. I've never met anyone that defended coffee like me. And I did it when I was in practice for almost 50 years. I used to tell people then I was, whenever I wrote a book or whenever I went on my radio show or whatever, I just said it. Coffee is one of the best things you can do. And at the Martin Clinic, what we did, we actually named it a vitamin. We took away vitamin C, ascorbic acid, and replaced it with coffee. Okay? Now, a lot of people think I was joking. I'm not joking. Now, am I saying vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is no good? No, I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. My experience with vitamin C is this. Okay, I'm just going to give you my experience. You need to take a lot of vitamin C, okay, as a supplement in order for it to be effective as a supplement. And you're not hearing me say, take vitamin C as a supplement. Now, again, let me give you a couple of bullets. One, if someone has cancer and they can get an IV of vitamin C, I highly recommend that. Okay? I highly recommend that. We used to work with a cancer specialist and who got out of the mainstream and was tired of just chemo and radiation, and he loved giving vitamin C intravenously. Okay? And I mean, this was back in the 90s. And I mean it. I really like vitamin C in a bag, going through your veins in an IV if you got cancer. Okay, so I got no problem with vitamin C, guys. But I meant it when I replaced ascorbic acid with coffee. Because, and I've been saying this for a long time, and I will continue as long as the Lord allows me to speak. I will tell you of the benefits of coffee, because I'm telling you, they are legion. Okay? And now I'm going to give you another one. But I'm not joking about coffee, guys. Okay? I'm not joking. It's the real vitamin C. Now, that doesn't mean there's vitamin C in it. There's not ascorbic acid. But the profile of coffee, that bean, the profile of it has over 1,000 nutrients, phytonutrients, 1,000 and counting. That's how good it is for you. And when they tell you, oh, coffee dehydrates, I get a migraine. Coffee doesn't dehydrate you. Okay? Coffee's good for you in every way. And when, oh, you're demineralizing, you're losing all your minerals when you're drinking coffee. No, you're not. That was made up. I always used to say, okay, my comedian days. You know who made that up? The tea drinkers. You know, you're losing all your minerals. No, you're not. You're not losing your minerals. You're taking in all these phytonutrients, 1,000 of them, and counting. Okay. I always have to defend coffee, because even on our private Facebook group, I got to defend it, because there are people, they either don't like it or they think I'm kidding. Okay? And I'm not. I'm not. That's how good it is for you guys. That we gave it the real vitamin C. That's what I call it, the real vitamin C. Because it is so much better than the other vitamin C. Hey, I'm saying it to you. Again, I'm not saying the other vitamin C is no good. You know, Dr. Martin, I got to drink orange juice because I get my vitamin C. Well, I'll tell you what. You're better off drinking water than drinking orange juice. Okay? Don't drink orange juice, whatever you do, for vitamin C. And I'm telling you, just supplementing and swallowing a vitamin C is, I've said this again for a long time, is really almost completely useless. Useless, because it doesn't do nothing for you. And I know we need vitamin C, but we don't need a lot of it. And if you need it therapeutically, I'm telling you, you better take it in an IV, because otherwise you're not getting much. And I'm telling you, I read all the research on it. And, okay, now, what does coffee do? Okay, because now I'm getting to the story. New study on coffee and your brain. Okay? You want to be smart? Drink coffee. Because a couple of things happen. Listen to this. 3 to 4 cups. Okay? This is the study. Don't shoot the messenger. But you guys will know this. What's the sweet spot of coffee? 4 cups of coffee a day. Okay? I've always said it. What's the sweet spot? Because people ask me, Doc, well, how much? Well, 1 is good, 2 is better, 3 is great, and 4 is the best, according to research. guys. I didn't do that research. I'm just telling you what the research says. So this study on 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day compared to those who don't drink coffee, listen to what happens in their brain. 2 things. Better brain, okay? Better white matter integrity. You got more brain. Your brain is growing. Coffee makes you smart. Okay? Number 2, it increases your cortical thickness. Okay? Again, coffee is good for your brain. Coffee is good for your memory. And guys, I always look at this, talk about, enjoying something like a coffee. I mean, who doesn't enjoy coffee? And if you don't, I feel sorry for you. Okay? And if you want better brain white matter and better cortical thickness in your brain's growing, drink coffee. What a bonus. And guys, I got over 150 studies on coffee. It's not like, there's no research. There's a lot of research on coffee. And the people that push back, they have an agenda. They'd love to get rid of coffee. And I push back. Guys, today, it's nothing to defend coffee compared to what I used to have to do to defend coffee. I'm telling you, in the 1970s and the 1980s, there was such misinformation on coffee, I couldn't get over it. I'd say what I'm saying now, and I knew nothing then about the benefits of coffee compared to what I know today. But I always said, it's not acidic. What? I said, it's not acidic. Coffee's not acidic. What? I had people screaming in my face. It's acidic. It'll kill you. It's going to cause cancer. Coffee's going to destroy your kidneys. What do you mean coffee's not acidic? I said, well, listen, I'll prove it to you. You drink a cup of coffee, and the second coffee gets into your body makes it alkaline. Yeah. And I used to get such pushback about. I said, well, your body buffers it. Your body makes it alkaline. That's one of the reasons it's so good for you. And I used to prove it to people. Even in the days of measuring blood sugar and all that. Do you know that coffee acts like metformin? How good it is for your blood sugar? Now, don't adulterate your coffee, okay? Don't put sugar in it, whatever you do, okay? And you'll get used to drinking coffee without sugar. It's a habit. You got to form a habit. Okay, coffee wins again. You want to be smart? Drink coffee. You want to control your blood sugars? Drink coffee with your meal. It acts like metformin. It'll keep you away from liver cancer. It'll keep you away from pancreatic cancer. It'll keep you away from kidney cancer. That's how good coffee is for you. And I'm doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, and I'm right. I take it personally. I rarely get emotional, except when people go after me about coffee. But I've been doing it for a long time, guys. This is not new. Okay, that was okay, coffee, canned soups, high blood sugar, and feeding infections. Let me see. I think I had another one. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, let's do this one. Just finish this one off. Keto. Okay? What they did is they compared the DASH diet. What is the DASH diet? Okay? It really emphasizes fruits and vegetables and grains. Okay? And lean protein, like maybe chicken. And limited, no saturated fat, and they really want to limit your eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay, the opposite of our diet, the EMC. Okay, and this had been compared, and here's what they found, especially in the liver. The EMC, eggs, meat, and cheese, wins every time compared to the DASH diet when it comes to liver health. Less fatty liver. And it ain't even close, guys. More fat loss. What? Yeah, more fat loss on eggs, meat, and cheese than the DASH diet. I almost scratch my head and go, why would anybody recommend that diet, by the way, the DASH diet? Okay? But they do. Because they got their science wrong. It's upside down. You know? And fruits and veggies. Look, I tell people every day, you like fruits and veggies? Do the EMC for 30 days. Do the reset for 30 days. Fix up your insulin and your insulin resistance. Get rid of fatty liver and get off the Titanic on the metabolic syndrome. And then, you know what? You can have fruits and vegetables. All I tell people is, don't live on them. Don't live on them. Doc, can I have one piece of bread a month? Okay, if you want. Okay? But don't live on it. Legumes. Oh, beans, Dr. Martin. Aren't they better than meat? Nah, they're not. Don't live on them. I'm a guy, don't live on them. So it's a switch. It's a paradigm shift in your thinking. Because you gotta do a shift, because most people have been taught the DASH diet. They've been taught that. And the Canada's food guide and the USA food guide is very heavy on grains, very, very heavy on fruits and vegetables, and very limited eggs, meat, and cheese. It's the opposite of what makes you healthy. It's the opposite. Okay. We can break that down a little bit more, but we'll leave it there. Okay, guys, we got a great week coming. Okay, promise. Lots of fun. Send in your questions for Q&A Friday. Okay, we always love that, Q&A Friday. So send your question in to info@martinclinic.com. Okay, info@martinclinic.com. Now, we love you guys. We thank you for coming on. When you can come on live, we appreciate it. We understand not everybody can. So tell everybody about The Doctor Is In. They can watch it again live not live, but a replay of it on Facebook. And they can go to their favorite smart device and just tune in to the Doctors In podcast on your favorite smart device. Okay, you can download it and listen and subscribe to it. Okay, we love you guys. Talk to you soon.